start dropping them Varane quotes in the chat as well, people.
Yo, them Varane quotes.
Fully loaded clip, bro. But I told you guys, everything that Varane said, is everything that I've been telling you, like when Eric Ten Hag was still there, bro.
Yeah,
you don't have to be in the changing room, to understand what's going on. And also, like, I understand the psychology of players, so it's very obvious when certain things are happening. When Varane's on the bench when he's fit, I think it was a Manchester derby, he benched him. You know what I'm saying? And Casemiro fit on the bench, all these things, bro. It's very clear that all the senior players that spoke up to the manager, he was picking fights with these men. It was obvious.
Yeah. Bro, you know what's mad, yeah? You know, at the time, remember we were talking about it, people were like, oh, you got an agenda against Ten Hag and you're making things up and you're making like things toxic. And brother, you can see like body language is so important, man, to understand. When Varane came on that day, I don't know what game it was. It might have been Galatasaray away when he came on, right? And he was pissed off and Onana said, yo, man, like, pattern up in it, man. We got to play. We got a game to play. And he was pissed off in it because he got dropped. I think Evans came off, I think it was. And Varane came off from the bench. You know what I mean? And there's so many situations you can see when Ahmad's pissed off and you can see in it, like he lost the dressing room, the manager, man. And the way he was managing the players was not right, bro. He wasn't really a good communicator. You know what I'm saying to you? And he didn't really know how to basically say what he was doing. And yeah, man, Varane broke it down and he just said, yo, this guy, he's a crazy guy, bro. And, it never really kind of went back to a normal after that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You can see it, though. You know what I mean? And you know what it is, I'm getting tired of football fans not understanding that football management is the same as any other kind of management in life. You're dealing with people, bro.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to deal with people, everything else goes out the window. Yeah. Everything else, bro. Ten Hag was a crap manager, so he was never going to be good. He was never going to be good for Man United. Even the fact that Varane was like, this guy, everything's super, super detailed, and he tries to... And he tries to control every aspect of the game. Bro, players will never like that. I can't lie, especially good players. No, good footballers, the worst thing you can do to good footballers is give them too much information. It's the worst thing you can do, bro. Good footballers, are good footballers because they intuitively just understand what to do. When you start telling them too many things, and they stop playing in their natural state, they get worse, bro. And you see it at Man City. There's so many players that go to Man City, and they get overcoached, and you lose something. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it with the majority of their players. They end up losing something. The only players that benefit are players like Sterling, who weren't good to begin with. You know them, man. And then you put them in the system, and they thrive. But at the expense of a Jack Grealish or a Mahrez or a Foden or a Bernardo. It's always at the expense of real good players, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And 100%, you lot remember the clip that was going viral when Pep was shouting at Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne told him to fuck off. It's like, bro, like, I don't need you to tell me how to play football, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And as a coach, I'll be honest, these are international players. You shouldn't be teaching them how to play football. Like, if I'm the coach, and I need to teach you how to play football at your big age, I'm just not picking you.
But and there's also the way you coach them in it, right? Like, there's ways of going about it. You know what I mean? And obviously with Ten Hag, it was very, very militant approach. So what he would do, he would say something, and like if you kind of like questioned it, which Varane said, I questioned a few things, and then all of a sudden I was dropped.
Yeah, you're just not playing. Yeah.
Not playing. You know what I mean? How does that solve the situation? And you got to remember, like, Varane's a big, big name in the dressing room. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with nobody. You're dealing with a guy who's won everything, basically, there is to win. You know what I mean? Like, and when you do that, you not only you alienate, like I said, a player of his quality, but a player that, like I said to you, bro, is a big leader in the dressing room, bro. And you do that, then other players look at it, and the next thing you know, that's why he said the dressing room was never the same. Do you get me? Like he kind of lost the players in the end because people were like, "Yo, run this guy, man. He's fell out with too many players." And when we were saying it and we're listing the names, and people would say to us, "Nah, you're lying. It can't be Casemiro. It can't be that player. It can't." Bro, he said it. He said it. He's confirmed it. He literally made enemies with people. You know what I mean? And problems. He said something like that. Yeah. He made problems with them that never needed to be created.
Yeah, because he wants to try and show everyone that he's in charge. And again, I prefer when the managers let the players play football. Now these managers want to be the main character, bro. Their egos are way too big. They're way too big. You've retired. You've had your time. Do you know what I mean? And most of them, you weren't that good at football either. Do you know what I'm saying? So stop pretending like you know everything about football, because you don't. Do you know what I mean? Let these guys play. You had your moment, bro. Like a lot of these managers look like
some of the
parents trying to live their fucking dream out through their children. You know the ones. That's what a lot of these. This is what a lot of these managers look like.
You know, that's deep. Yeah,
I'm being honest. That's what it looks like. It looks like parents trying to live their dream out through their kids. It's like, bro, like you had your time. You weren't that guy. Let these men play now.
Yeah, no facts. You know what it was as well with Ten Hag. Yeah, like because he weren't good at communicating, he would like. There's certain people in life here when they're not good at communicating, they just kind of do a madness in it. That they react so differently. Like they panic here, and they just kind of do something that they know instantly they regret, but because they know it, they kind of be stubborn or something like that, and it's like you don't want to then speak to the person. You don't want to know him. So what you do is you just brush the problem somewhere else. And that's what he did with Varane, Casemiro. He just kind of said, you know what, man? I don't know what to do with you, but just get out of my way in it. You can't deal with them. You can't deal with people like that. And that was his downfall, man. Because then the whole formation, nobody kind of really knew what was going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? That whole formation there, it became what? What did it become? You know what I'm saying to you? It was a 3-1-6. You know what I mean? It weren't really, I think he talked about it as well, like that formation being much of nothing. He said something like that. You get me? So like it's the whole thing was bad, man. And like I said, when you see it here and then you kind of look at something, you're like, bro, that don't look right, man. You got to trust your instincts, you know, and you got to trust like your beliefs. And that's what, you know, a lot of people did, you know, but you know what I mean? I'm glad Varane's put it out there, man, because he didn't even do the humble thing. And why is it every player that's coming out now not really speaking well of the manager? Let's be honest. There's a lot of people now that have said a few things now. You get me? Like,
but people are making it out like they're all lying, SAEED.
Yeah.
Because God forbid, that it was actually the manager. Do you know what I'm saying? Because this fan base has been brainwashed by the ex-players and also by the media to think that everything's the fault of these players. And this is what I said, like I've never seen a football team where the majority of them are bad eggs. There's usually one or two in every single squad. Do you know what I mean? But I refuse to believe that all of these Man United players are bad eggs. They're bad professionals. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to win. I refuse that, because if that was the case, why they won so much? You know what I mean? Because you don't accidentally get to the amount of finals that these men have got to. You don't accidentally win these trophies. You don't accidentally win some of the games they've won, bro. If their attitudes were so bad,
they get found out, bro.
They would get found out, bro, because
you get found out.
They've won more trophies than a lot of teams, that supposedly are playing for their manager.
Facts. Yeah, no, you spot on. You spot on. You know, you're right, bro. You know what I mean? And then that's the case, you know what I mean, especially with Varane, right? It's like he's won so much. You know what I mean? How could he be of a nuisance to the manager? How could he be of such a problem? So when people say, oh yeah, but that's how player power starts. Not really. It's just that's only because something happened before that. You feel me? Like it don't just happen right. I don't think these players that actively be like, yo, listen, man, like man wants to get this manager out, so I'm gonna cause problems and whatnot. Nah, it ain't really like that, bro. Especially when Varane knows, like, you know, he's not at his peak. He's not really at the levels where he needs to be at. But you know what? He's a professional, bro. Everywhere where he's been, like I said to you, and when he came to the football club, he's been a constant professional, man. You know what I mean? Always giving it his all. And ultimately, the manager made a big deal out of a situation that he felt threatened by. And that's what happens. I think with Ten Hag, when he felt threatened by something, he was just a different person, bro. And he kind of took it personally. You get me?
Yeah,
And
but
problem,
that him feeling threatened comes from insecurity because
facts.
he was never good enough to be Manchester United manager in the first place.
Yep. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things. Like the fact him trying to pick a fight with the most popular people in the dressing room is what insecure people do to kind of stamp their authority and show that they're in charge. But the best way to manage, is with humility. Because at the end of the day, you don't need to manage. You don't need to manage with an iron fist, bro. Like people don't want to fight for you if you're going around trying to bad people up, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's just not human nature. It's just not human nature, bro.
No.
Like there's not really managers that go around bullying players, and do well. It doesn't really happen. Like when you look at the success that Jose had, all of these guys talk about they talk about his relationship with the players individually. You ask John Terry, you ask Lampard, you ask Drogba. Do you know what I mean? You see how John Obi Mikel speaks about him. All these guys say that, he was like a father figure. Do you know what I mean? They say the same thing about Sir Alex Ferguson, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And these are the guys more often than not that win stuff.
Yeah.
Pep's a bit different. Like you don't really hear people speak about Pep the same way they speak about Sir Alex Ferguson or Jose or whatever. Pep's thing is just about you just do what I say, and people respect Pep because he wins, not necessarily because of his personality. Do you know what I mean? Carlo Ancelotti as well is another one.
Yeah,
but these are the managers that win more often than not. Say
I know. But you got to earn that respect, though, man. I think these not new crop of managers here. Even Maresca to a certain extent, now. I don't get his aura sometimes, man. Like I get it, like he's once.
No, Maresca's trying to do the authority thing.
Yeah,
but it's like you need to win stuff first.
You need to win stuff first, bro. Like you know what I'm saying, bro. Like you have to have that kind of man management. And he's let go of Felix. He's let go of a couple of man. And it's like, it might bite him in the ass now because he's probably thought, you know what, like, I could do better than these lot. Yo, bro, everyone gets humbled in life, you know. You don't go on this face of earth, and it goes smooth sailing. You know that, bro. Like, you're going to have to be humble sooner or later. So I think with Erik ten Hag, he kind of thought, you know what, I can chat to these man in the way I want to chat to. And unfortunately, bro, even if you're a manager, broski, like, you know, there's players that have got big personalities in the dressing room. You've got to understand, you've got to pick your battles, man. Man's picking his battles with Varane and Casemiro. And listen, you might think, you know what, man, what are you talking about? Player power? Nah, man. There's a difference between player power here and there's guys that have been there at the biggest and highest level. You've got to get on their side, bro. You have to, or else you won't survive. You'll not survive, bro. You won't. Especially if you're not a manager that's not won anything of actual significant note. You know what I mean? It's all good and well doing Eredivisie, but what's that equivalent of in you know what I mean, in our terms? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Championship's harder to win. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. Championship is harder to win.
It is.
You get me? So when you look at it like that, it's like, yo, for me, I think he's just kind of almost like acting like, you know what, I can win this battle. And then he's lost it in the end. So sometimes you have to have that self-awareness and be like, you know what, I can't really do this. I know this guy's popular in the dressing room. This is what's happening there. I know the dynamics. Work around it, bro. And then create your stance on things at the end. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So that one there is a bit of a madness, man. And like I said, the warning signs were there with Ronaldo one. We can say whatever we want. Ronaldo threw his dummy out. You know what I mean?
Listen, the way that Ronaldo behaved, I'll never condone it because
no, that's what I'm saying.
I don't like.
But I get where he's coming from. Ronaldo.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I just don't like his personality in terms of how he just deals with most things.
And
anyway,
Piers Morgan. He should never went on
the Piers Morgan thing was crazy, but you know what it is with CR7, He's one of them guys, like I wouldn't even want as a teammate because he's got main character syndrome in it. And it's one of them ones where it's like, it's a team sport, football. So you can be confident, you can even be arrogant, but you need to understand that you're still part of a team, in it. Like, he just plays for himself. So that's the reason why he did that. Because when he did what he did, he wasn't thinking about how it would affect everyone else. He just cared that he felt like he'd been wronged. Do you know what I'm saying? There were other ways that he could have dealt with it in-house, that wouldn't have destabilized the team, bro. But he was only thinking about himself. So it's not to say he was in the wrong because he's
that's what I'm gonna say.
He's right to feel disrespected by the manager. He wasn't the only one, but he's the only one that behaved like that.
But and the maddest thing is, if everyone did that, you know what I mean? It'd be.
But this is what I'm trying to say, bro. And the thing is, he did it, and he got away with it. People are going on like all of Man United's players are like CR7, and they're disruptive, and they're going to do all these things. People will turn a blind eye to what he did because it was because of who he is. But
yeah, Ronaldo.
Most of our players are model professionals, bro. Because if they weren't, why are they winning more trophies than Arsenal? All them men are playing for Arteta. All of them guys are supposed to be good guys, listening to the manager, doing what they're told, and we're still winning more trophies than them. So either it's the attitude and application from our players, yeah?
Yeah.
Or they're not shit, and everyone's calling them shit, but actually they're way better than you're giving them credit for because they've got horrible attitudes and they're still winning in spite of that. So which one is it?
Which one is it exactly? It's a good question, man. You know what I mean?
Which one is it, bro?
Yeah. No, you're spot on. I look at like I said, the Ronaldo thing, was a mad one because obviously he kind of went on an interview and everyone was like, "Bro, man, relax yourself." Like, you get me? Like, man got on Piers Morgan, and it felt like he was just trying to do things for himself rather than the club. And he did. He got his exit clause. He got his money payout, whatever. Cool. Say no more. The contract was cancelled. Varane didn't do that. Varane actually was training, was doing his thing. You know what I mean? But still, the manager didn't like that, bro. Do you get me? And then any sort of authority that came his way, and he didn't like it.